Good Friday morning. It's the main event. I'm your humble host with his being rude and his computer playing in the background. But I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum, and you know him as 17-year NFL veteran, Dale Hellestrae, folks. I screwed the whole intro up because I got distracted by my computer. Let's start that over again.
Yeah, I was going to say that there was no enthusiasm.
Oh.
What are you? Are you going to be Jonathan Gannon today?
No, I'm going to be George Pickens. Playing football last night.
Give me a little Dan Campbell.
Yeah, exactly. 17-year NFL veteran, 3-time Super Bowl champion for your Dallas Cowboys. I don't know. Dale was so upset about the way the Cowboys played last night, but I don't know if he's more upset about that, LeBron not continuing that 10-point consecutive streak games that he had, or what he's more excited about, the World Cup draw happening this afternoon. Where is your team going to be slotted, folks? Dale Hellestrae!
Off the top rope, and I just can't wait. I'm golfing this afternoon, but we are going to take a break once the World Cup draw starts being televised.
You're going to be like, all right, guys, let's go.
Everybody stop. Everybody stop.
People going to be play through, and you'll be like, look, knock it off.
Yeah.
Serious things happening right now as well. For the rest of the world, today is an important day.
Oh, God.
It'll be swept under here in America, but I'm looking forward to it. Let's see what the host nations end up with in terms of who they have to play. Record field.
Is the U.S. hosting?
Yes, so they're in it, but what do they get into? What bracket? Like, do they get stuck with like Germany or what good teams do they get?
Wouldn't they give the home team?
Yeah, but there's a lot of animosity about America right now.
Really?
So
Even though we've sucked?
Not in terms of soccer, just in terms of
Yeah, I heard that winter visitors from Canada are punishing us and
I know.
not coming down to Arizona.
Canada, I got news for you. You're not hurting us at all.
Hey, we don't miss you.
Now somebody at home right now is going, we missed your tax dollar. They're spending tourist dollars. You know what I don't miss? Going 30 on the freeway with the left blinker on. That's what I don't miss. Especially out where I live, Dale.
Yeah.
I live out of that area where a lot of communities out there that are based around that. So, yeah, I know. It cracks me up.
Well, I mean, you probably still got your second home, so you're making your mortgage payments and property tax payments.
Yeah, exactly. We're just they're just not clogging up Costco out by my house anymore, and the Walgreens and CVS, the pharmacies out there. You look where I take that one, Desi.
See, you always,
Do I take it too far?
You don't just put your toe to the line. You have to break right through the wall.
I step right over that line. I got a big Friday here coming up, Dale.
You do.
I do. After this program, of course, then we go to MLB, McCollum on Business. Big news there. Netflix is buying Warner Brothers Discovery. So we'll be talking about that coming up.
Why is that a bad thing? I saw you on Twitter.
Well, because Netflix is a streaming company. Warner Brothers Discovery puts movies into theatrical release. Warner Brothers Discovery has had a...
Hold on. So for a normal person who went to Saguaro High School, does that mean it goes into theaters?
Yes, theaters.
Okay.
Yes. And not only that, Warner Brothers movie division's having a really good year. They've had some really good movies. And actually, they're going to have a movie that is most likely going to win the Academy Award this year. And that's going to suffer with Netflix. Have you seen a Netflix movie? They're not... I mean, they're all right, but they're not stellar and stuff like that. And then they're going to spin off the cable business, which means the sports side and all of that stuff, if it goes through. Plus, they're overpaying for it. So you as a consumer should be concerned about this. Forget about the movie side and stuff like that, because that is concerning, because you're losing a really big, movie company in this process, going to a streaming company. But the other side of this is, your Netflix price is about to skyrocket, folks.
You think?
Oh, so. $87 billion to buy this. Now, I know Netflix said in their press release, because I was looking at it this morning, they said, we're gonna keep operating it the way we want, the way Warner Brothers is operating now. We're gonna keep doing movies in the theaters and stuff. Don't believe it. Don't believe it.
So you're down on this deal.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I'm not a big government, don't let companies merge guys, but let's look into this one a little bit closer. Yeah, I'm not happy with it at all. Yeah, I would have rather seen Paramount get them. Because
Really? What would
they're
how
similar
Paramount be
they're
different?
similar companies. Paramount does movies,
Oh, okay.
similar companies and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah. I get it. Somebody's gonna go, "You're an old man, Steve. You're an old man. You just don't like streamers." No, I don't mind the streamers. They have their purpose and stuff like that. Their purpose is to replay. So we're gonna go see Five Nights at Freddy tonight. Five Nights at Freddy 2. It's a family night. Me, Ireland, Ethan, and Autumn's coming along as well.
What the hell is that?
It's a movie. Don't worry about it. I'm not explaining it to you because I don't quite understand it either. But I saw the first one with the kids, and it's all the rage for the kids, right, and everything. And so we're gonna go see the second one tonight. So Autumn hadn't seen the first one, and she's tagging along tonight. Well, not tag. Now I'm gonna get yelled at for saying that, but she's coming along tonight. I'm gonna get yelled at for that, folks. But she hadn't seen the first one, so it's a Universal film, which NBC Universal owns Peacock. And I couldn't find it anywhere. I ended up having to rent it for $3.99 on Amazon Prime so she could watch it last night because you can't find it on the streamers. Why can I not find a Universal film on the freaking Universal streaming app called Peacock? Stupid. And I had to buy it on. Doesn't make any sense. This is the problem with the streamers. This is the problem with the movie side of it. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. And I don't get it. So that's why I'm in up in arms today about that. I don't know if I'm more up in arms about that or Gilbert PD doing their just amazing job of arresting a kid on the spot for riding his motorcycle. You don't drive in Gilbert. The police aren't going to come after you.
That's Steve. Steve McCullough.
Anybody that follows this show or my Twitter page knows how up in arms I am about Gilbert PD and this Gilbert Goons stuff. How they just turned an eye on that.
Oh.
But dear God, oh my God, this kid's having fun out there.
He could have endangered people, Steve. You could have been walking your dog.
Literally, the Gilbert police spokesperson was like, "We cannot have this in our neighborhoods." But you can allow beating up and assault and beating up of kids at the Gilbert In and Out and turn your eye to that, huh? I don't know which one I'm more up on. But then it's also a big day for me, Dale.
Okay.
I'm taking the white car, the car with all my adventures and all my life and everything. I'm taking it to the Classic Collision over in Chandler.
So same company, different building?
Location.
Yeah.
Yes. The regional manager that reached out to me, he said that location's had a bunch of turnover. They've improved it a lot. So he would ask me if I would be willing to take it to that location and everything like that. Yeah. Yep. So we'll see. We'll see if I have the same experience today as I did the other day with Joe over there at the Queen Creek location. That Dale says those headlights look the same.
I can't tell the difference.
Oh, one's on and one's not. You can't tell that difference. So I have a big Friday ahead of me.
You do. It sounds like a fun one.
I just got to make it past 3:00, man. And I'm driving like way out of my way to take it to this place too.
Well, what's the name of this movie you're going to watch? Five Days of Sunday? Oh.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Is this like a horror movie?
Yeah, well, it's a game.
The
It's like a horror
thing?
game and stuff. Yeah.
Oh.
So I'll put it this way for you old people that don't understand young kids today. I still don't understand it, and I've seen it. But basically, it's like a what was the Chuck E. It's like a Chuck E. Cheese type like pizza place. You know, they have the animatronic animals,
Yeah.
and then they kill people and stuff like that.
Well, that sounds really fun. Gosh.
It's gonna be amazing. You just have no fun in your life. That's what your problem is. Your fun is golf, old man stuff. What are you doing
And
later
even
on?
that's no fun.
What are you doing later on? A proctology exam? And
Wow.
doing your will later on? Is that your fun Friday evening? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Actually, I think I'd rather have a proctology exam than watch 5 dinners with Freddie.
Autumn texted in 623-252-6670.
It's 8:00. She's not teaching.
She texted this in last night
Oh,
as well.
okay.
9:21 p.m.
What's she still doing up
I
there?
don't know. She must have. I don't know what time the movie ended at my probably 8:30 or so. So she left after that, but she's obviously getting caught up on the show because she said, "You leave Bonnie alone."
Oh, she's a Monty fan?
Oh yeah, that's what. Yeah, yesterday I said that. Oh yeah, when we were on the radio back in the radio station days, I was ripping Monty left and right there for a while. That's all she would. She would get so mad at me, so mad at me about it. And then eventually she was like, I think you're right about Monty, because I was just so disgusted by him out there and everything. So yeah, yeah. At least she's not saying you leave Ty Lue alone. We got conference games this weekend, Dale. What are you doing this weekend?
There's 2 nights of conference games, aren't there?
Tonight and
conference
tomorrow
championship
nights.
game, yeah.
And tonight actually matters, folks. There are 2 games tonight we're gonna pick. You got Troy at 25 ranked, James Madison. They're losing their head coach. Now their head coach is coaching for them through this before he moves on. Then you got North Texas, 24th ranked against 20th ranked Tulane. Both of those coaches are moving on, but they're coaching their teams through this process as well. Why these are important games? One of these 3 teams is going to be in the college football playoffs.
The highest ranked of the 3?
Yep. So it's an important night tonight for these 3 schools. So if you're just a fan of competition, now I hate the fact that one of these teams is getting into the college football playoffs 12 because they have 0 chance to compete. But at least in tonight's aspect, it's good for them. It might be a fun game. So I don't know if Troy's going to do anything against James Madison, but North Texas Tulane should be a fun game to watch.
Well, you got Kennesaw State, Jacksonville State also.
Ooh.
You know how much it costs? Tickets are as low as $14 for that one.
Are they giving tickets away to that one?
The game at Boise State, tickets as low as $13.
Yeah, I'm totally rooting for. I've always been like a UNLV guy because my mom's side of the family's from Vegas, and I spent a lot of time up there and stuff and everything. But man, they got Dan Mullins up there as a head coach. He's turning that program around, and I'm rooting for UNLV huge in that game over and Boise State.
What have they ever done to you? They gave us one of the greatest Fiesta
Great.
Bowls ever.
Yeah, where Oklahoma didn't think they needed to be there and didn't play hard. Actually, I liked Boise State back then. I've turned on them lately. Like last year.
What have they ever done to you?
Robert says at TME Sports Show, that kid that jumped the motorcycle had some talent and serious cojones. Yeah. I'm not saying the kid was in the right. He did some property damage with the grass and stuff like that. And those motorcycles and those I call them e-bikes, but they're like, quasi bikes / motorcycles. They actually do a lot of damage. We see it out by where we are as well. They ride through the grass and there's track marks and stuff like that. So I'm not saying the kid didn't do anything wrong. Again, I want to be clear about that. I'm coming after the Gilbert Police Department because they arrested this kid on the spot with this big, tough words about how we don't allow this in our community. But how many months and years do they let the Gilbert goons beat up kids and do serious damage in their community? And they were like, what gang? What privileged rich kids are we ignoring right now? That's my problem. That's my problem with it.
I think you need to go get a motorcycle and try and jump over a road.
Oh my God! Can you imagine the traction I'd be in after that? Even if I landed it, I would be in. I wouldn't survive.
And that's a big if.
That's if I landed. I'd be in a big side as well. So yeah, so good. So lower tier teams playing tonight that generally I'm not into watching very much, but there's some excitement on the line tonight. So if that keeps you interested in tonight, that one of them is going to make the college football playoffs before they get destroyed by 72 points against somebody coming up like Oregon. At least, I guess you could say they're doing it right, Dale.
So then you go to tomorrow, and this is what I don't understand. So you got 2 games started at 9 o'clock. You got the Big 12 championship. I'm just talking about here in Arizona. It'll be 11 o'clock in Dallas. Yeah. And then Miami of Ohio, Western Michigan, whatever that's for.
The winner there plays in the Arizona Bowl coming up, Dale.
Then you have the standalone Georgia-Alabama game at 1, and then 2 games start at 5 p.m.
Yeah, I don't know why they did it that way either. It drives me nuts. Because I kind of want to watch both those afternoon games.
Well, I understand, but why not stagger them a little bit? They have Georgia, Alabama start at 1 and have the Big Ten championship. That's later, fine, but have Duke, Virginia at 3.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I'm only interested in Duke, Virginia, with the off chance Duke can keep this close.
Yeah, and if it's close, you can
Yeah,
watch it.
But I'm not going to turn to that with Ohio State, Indiana, unless that's a blowout. You're going to totally ignore Duke, Virginia.
Yes.
In that moment, or just I get it. Once played in Indianapolis and once played in North Carolina, right?
Yeah,
Right,
but
time
they're both
zone.
East
But
Coast
start one
time.
at 4, start one at 4, start one at 6.
Yeah. Well, and
That's
that
8
way you have
p.m.
some options.
Yeah, I know. I don't get it either. I don't understand why they do this.
Well, if you're going to get to the brass tacks of it, it's because the SEC is going to stand alone.
Well, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, look, BYU. I'm looking more forward to Georgia, Alabama than I even am the Big 12 game because I just think Texas Tech is winning that game. I'm going to watch it, of course, because I'm rooting for BYU in this game because I'd like to see 2 Big 12 teams make the Big Chap.
But that's why, in my mind,
I'm more looking forward to the SEC game.
I totally agree. But why not start the Duke Virginia game at 3?
Yeah,
just in case the SEC game is bad.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. Everybody's going to ignore this Duke Virginia game. There's a chance the ACC will not have a team in this college football playoffs.
If Virginia loses?
Yes. How can you put Duke in over Virginia? And Miami's out. Miami's not playing this weekend. They're on the outside. How do you move Miami in?
Well, maybe you can put SMU in there.
You need some bigger. Well, you blew your chance for that, Tiger.
Duke is 7-5.
I know. Dude, it was a let me pull it up here. I want to be factually accurate on this because the ACC, this is why this is why I rail against these big conferences. I rail against it on the Big 12 as well. And I'm not knocking Arizona at all. But they had a favorable schedule this year. Yes, they played some hard teams, but they caught some of these teams like Baylor late in the season when they were starting to struggle, stuff like that, right? But they dodged the big schools like Texas Tech. They did play BYU, but they dodged Texas Tech and schools. The cream of the crop there. They didn't dodge it. The schedule just didn't allow it this year.
Right. It's not like they scheduled Kennesaw State.
And I hate it because of that reason. Then you get into the tiebreakers. Last year, if you remember, ASU got in the Big 12 title game. Colorado lost out because of a tiebreaker scenario, right? And stuff to that effect. Even the SEC, the best team in the SEC isn't in the SEC championship game because they lost one game last week to Texas. That's A&M. And they're not in the SEC championship game because of the way the tiebreakers and stuff works out,
right?
Because they lost one game against a highly ranked Texas team last week as well, right? That you're looking at. It's an absolute, I don't like it. I hate everything about it. And I think it's stupid. You should. What do I rail on the SEC about all the time? They don't play 9 conference games. Now that's changing coming up. But play as many teams in your conference as you possibly can. And the bigger the stuff gets, the obviously the harder it is to do that, to do those moves and things to that effect. I'm trying to find it here really quick, but it's something like a 5-team tiebreaker to put Duke into that ACC championship game.
Yeah, but again, you had your
Duke's
chance.
what?
7-5.
Yeah, we're okay. How is a 2-loss Miami team not in this game because of a tiebreaker scenario? It's a joke. It's an absolute joke that you look at with these large, and you think it's going to get smaller as these conferences continue to expand. It's a joke of a system. I want to see the ACC not have one team in this playoffs because of their stupid setup. I kind of want to see it happen, Dale.
But you can sit there at the same time and go, well, SMU, you had every chance in the world. All you had to do is go beat Cal.
Who just fired their coach.
All you got to do is beat Cal.
Yes. That's all you had to do. Now, everybody says, all the conference champions have to get in. There actually is scenarios where a conference champion, because they're not ranked high enough.
Right.
You have to be ranked high enough. And Virginia's only 17 right now in terms of that ranking. So there is a scenario where the ACC can't get into that deal as well. So, but it just even then, SEC tiebreaker puts those two teams in, and the best team's not playing. Like I said, a 5-loss team's in there instead of a 2-loss team in Miami in the ACC. If Miami was in this game and Miami won it, Miami would be a top 12 playoff team.
Right.
So you're just screwing yourself with these playoff breakers and stuff to that effect. Now, Virginia should go out there and boat race Duke tonight and kind of put that to bed. But Virginia, I don't even know if Virginia is strong enough to get into the 12 with their scenario. I think the ACC best bet might be Miami. And you need some losses.
Yes.
You need Alabama to lose to go 3 losses and bump them out. Notre Dame's not playing this weekend, so they're going to be in regardless. But you need some movement here in order for that to happen. I just hate it. Even the Mountain West, Boise State's in the Mountain West championship game against UNLV. New Mexico is more deserving of being in that game with their schedule, who they played, and their record, but they lost out in a tiebreaker, which put Boise State in instead of New Mexico.
This is the weekend of all weekends that I just root for total chaos. Total chaos.
I used to not be a chaos guy, but I've turned into a chaos
I want
guy.
BYU to beat Texas. I want Indiana to beat Ohio State.
You know what?
I
got our picks coming up. I might. Somebody might take reach out there and pick something.
I want Georgia to lose. I just want everything to
That's
go
the one
crazy.
That's the one I don't want to see happen. I want to see Georgia run that table and be the SEC champion and be the top seed in the SEC. And they're not even the best team in that conference. Not even close. I told you before the game, if you didn't hear this, Vanderbilt's ranked 14th right now.
Mm-hmm.
Heck of a season by them. The reports are that they were trying to figure out how to play a 13th game this weekend because they're out of the 12-team playoff. They're not playing this weekend. They're outside looking in and everything. They were looking at ways and if it was possible for them to play a 13th game this weekend to bolster their schedule and their wins to make it into the 12-team playoffs. I'll respect that every day of the week over teams like Alabama. Because if Alabama loses this weekend, their head coach, their athletic director, SEC crybaby fans that want everything SEC out there, which we watch your football.
Which is true.
No, we watch your low-end football. It's terrible.
Low end?
Terrible.
Steve
You're top
McCollum.
heavy. You're top heavy and then just straight trash underneath it.
Hey, you used to say Vanderbilt was straight trash.
But they're not anymore because
Right.
Pavia, man. Pavia's mom's the good luck charm, apparently. Pavia's mom has got it going on. Yeah, his mom. His mom. You haven't watched the Vanderbilt?
No,
game,
I
obviously.
haven't.
Do the
Oh,
camera
I
just-
have watched some because I know they're redoing the stadium.
The old lady that they always go to in the stands. She's dancing. That's his mom.
Did not know that.
Well, she looks like she's a student. His mom's all over the place. But I'll respect a team exploring options to play their way into the college football championship. Because when Alabama loses this weekend, their head coach, their AD, and everybody's going to be going, oh, we got 3 losses, but look at our schedule. We had to play an extra game, and we had to do this, and we had to do that, and we deserve to be in. That nonsense is annoying as all heck. I'll respect a team trying to figure out how to play in as opposed to making excuses. When you get Alabama has the best opportunity to ensure they're in the 12-team playoff this weekend. They can play their way in, whereas Miami, Vanderbilt, and them can't. And when Alabama loses this weekend, hint, hint, they should just shut up and take their ball and go home. But they're not going to. They're going to make we had to play an extra game. You mean to tell me Miami, Vanderbilt, a team in your own conference, they're trying to play an extra game to work their way in. You had the opportunity. And if you don't take advantage of it, like SMU, do you hear SMU complaining about it right now?
No.
They had their opportunity.
Yes.
They blew it, and they're like, all right, that's our lot in life. We're going to Pop-Tart Bowl or whatever, we're Sun Bowl or whatever we're going to, and that's just our lot in life now.
Yeah.
But watch
we had
the
a chance.
complaining by Alabama this weekend when they have a chance to clinch it.
Do you think Alabama gets knocked out if they lose?
No. Should they is another question. I don't see how a 2-loss Miami. Now, granted, they were 2 bad losses. I don't see how a 2-loss Miami stays out when Alabama with 3 losses stays in. I can't wrap my head around it. I just can't. And it's who Alabama lost to also.
Do
I
you
can't
think
wrap my head
maybe
around it.
they should come up with something that, hey, the final rankings?
Well, but you can manipulate the rankings, and you know as well as I do the rankings get manipulated.
Oh, I know that
Teams get
they set
voted up
things
a couple of spots, knowing that because they're playing another team in that
Right.
conference, and then you go, oh, see, they beat the 12th ranked, but they aren't a 12th ranked team, but they got pumped up to that week because the matchup was coming. So you can manipulate the rankings.
What would happen if they came up with the final rankings this week, and all you can do is be jostled around
I
after the
believe.
championship game?
Well, that's the thing. I believe.
Because here's one thing that I think would be totally unfair. The team has to play a championship game. They're in the playoff this week, and they get knocked out for somebody who's sitting at home.
Yeah, that's going to be their argument. My argument is this: they didn't have an opportunity to improve their standings. You do. Take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. Yeah, and then this is what I said yesterday. If Alabama has a complaint, it's Texas beating Texas A&M, because you know who wouldn't be playing this weekend if Texas A&M beat Texas?
Alabama,
and they'd be into the 12-playoff. You can't have it both ways, Dale. You can't have it both ways. You just can't. You should be mad at Texas beating Texas A&M more than anything else, because you would be in at that point, because you'd only have 2 losses.
Don't you think Indiana would rather have not made it to the Big Ten championship game, just be able to sit home and have the number 2 seed?
Yeah, but they're in regardless.
Oh,
And I
they're gonna
firmly,
be
if it's a close game and Indiana loses this, I only think they move down to the 4th seed.
And
So
as long as they still get a bye.
Yeah.
But if they would lose and move to 5.
But they had an opportunity. Well, hold on. As a competitor, I do not see one of these teams going. Like I said, Alabama might be the only one going, crap, we're getting screwed in this deal. We got screwed in this deal.
You got so much Alabama hate.
But I'm actually defending them a little bit here, Dale. I'm saying they got screwed in this deal because Arch Manning dominated Texas A&M last weekend. But in all seriousness, do you think somebody's literally sitting at home going, "Oh, I wish you're not in this game"? That's ridiculous. Except for Alabama, they're probably lying. They're the only ones because they can't get knocked out with 3 losses. You have a chance to do it. You can't say, "Oh, we had an extra game. It's not fair to us." You also had an extra game to solidify. Georgia's into the top 12 regardless.
Yeah.
Alabama needs to win this game to guarantee they're in the 12 playoffs.
If Indiana loses by 21 to Ohio State and they fall to 5.
Yeah, I would not be upset about that because they show they're not in the category of an Ohio State.
So one-loss team who loses to the number 1 team in the country.
And move Oregon up. Absolutely. Oregon has how many losses?
They won, but they're not playing this game.
Well, you know what? You have a chance. Are you telling me Oregon wouldn't want to be in this game and we can get up there?
No, they're like, hey, we're sitting here at 5. I like that. We're going to play some podunk
we're going to
team.
get a bye because of our competition.
Yeah.
You know how you can solve this? You can do the AIA thing.
What's that?
1 and 2 play each other, 3 and 4 play each other, 5 and 6 play each other, all down the line, and everybody in the conference plays this weekend and has a chance to move on.
I wouldn't mind that at all.
So even though Miami's not, because of the tiebreakers, isn't in the ACC, but they're still playing somebody this weekend, which would help your schedule. Why not add it? What I tend to agree with you. Conference games, they do it for the money.
Oh, that's the only reason.
But why don't you have more people play an extra game? Like what? Why not?
Because if you're the SEC, you're kind of cheering for Alabama to beat Georgia.
You need Georgia
because that way both of them will be in the college football playoff, which you get more money for.
Absolutely.
If this conference championship costs you Alabama getting bumped out.
Well, that's why it's never going to happen. Because the SEC won't allow it to happen because they don't want to play hard games. They want to play as few hard games as
play
humanly
each other.
possible.
Every SEC game is a hard game.
They want to play as few hard teams as possible during their season. That's why it's never going to happen. Could you imagine, them having to play other hard teams out there more often?
They play hard teams every week, Steve.
Okay, if you say so. Alabama played South Carolina this year. Alabama played LSU this year. LSU wasn't a good team, Dale.
They
South
beat,
Carolina wasn't a good team.
but that doesn't mean
They played Eastern Illinois, that juggernaut. I will give you $100 if you can tell me Eastern Illinois' mascot without.
Eastern Illinois Salukis.
If you're right, I'm going to.
No, that's
They're actually the Panthers.
yeah, that's Southern Illinois. Southern Illinois Salukis.
I know. Start your Steve just hates the SEC. There is a way to make it fair. If you want to call it unfair, there is a way to make it fair. Have more teams play in a conference round robin or something to that effect this weekend. Absolutely, but they're not going to do it because it will cost people teams in the college football play. Could you imagine if A&M goes out there this weekend again and then lose again? Like the matchup is they have to play Texas again because they lost to them last week, and then that just happens that whatever the thing is, then they have to play Texas again this week, and they lose again with 2 losses, and all of a sudden they're a 10 seed in the college football playoff. That's why it won't happen. But you can't have it both ways. You can't complain about it, Alabama, when you lose this weekend, when you had the chance to do it, because there are a lot of teams in your conference, Mike Vanderbilt, that would kill to play this weekend and have a chance to get into that college football playoffs. And you got it, Alabama. Go prove yourselves. Otherwise, shut it. Don't want to hear it. Duke, as ridiculous as it is, has a chance, Dale, to play them way into a college football playoff berth. At least be in the conversation by winning this weekend. Virginia, who's not that good of a team, folks, has a chance to play themselves into the college football playoffs. You know who doesn't? The better team in that division, Miami. Take advantage of it. Otherwise, shut up. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear your constant whining at 5 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. Or 6 p.m. our time on Saturday. When you lose.
There's gonna be some bitching and moaning.
Oh, just turn it off. all the SEC sands. This is why we only play 8 conference games. For this reason, this is a joke. We're stupid. We need more teams in. We're the best conference in the world. Obviously not, because Alabama has 3 losses. It'll be a fun weekend.
Your hate for the Southeastern Conference.
That's because it's just stupidity.
And I just don't understand the hate for Minnesota and the Southeastern Conference.
Well,
I don't know where it came from.
It's because they're a bunch of crybabies. We're the best, but you don't play like you're the best. Show you're the best.
They got the number 9, 3, 6, 7, 13, 8, and 14 teams in the country.
Mm-hmm. By SEC voters and people pushing them in. That's why, Dale. You mean to tell me BYU doesn't deserve to be in this college football playoffs?
Not yet. If they win
with one win,
one
loss. I mean, with one loss.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me that
they didn't? You talk about not playing anybody.
They played Arizona in Tucson. Oh no! All of a sudden now we're discounting Arizona's scoring record, huh? Oh, I see how it is.
You are something else.
Oh my goodness!
Well,
all of a sudden, Arizona's season doesn't count.
All right, well, let's take a look at this BYU schedule. Well, they opened up against vaunted Portland State.
Oh, they're a rough out up there to start your season.
Then they play Stanford, East Carolina.
Hey, your buddy Frank Wright ruined that Stanford franchise this year.
East Carolina, always a juggernaut.
Actually, they have been good past years. This is just an off year for East Carolina.
Barely beat Colorado 24-21.
Oh, but you know what? It's the win that matters. They went out there and they did it. They went out there and fought hard and got that W in the face of the L, Dale.
And the SEC plays this week's schedule.
I will, I give Mike props to the SEC. Georgia, Texas A&M. Texas A&M's the best school in best team in the SEC this year. But I'll even give Ole Miss their credit. Until Lane Kiffin left, that team had a legit chance to win a championship this year.
You think they don't just because
I just don't know if that. You know as well as I do. Lane Kiffin was the play caller. If he wasn't the play caller, I would say we're good to go. But when you take a play, look at Detroit this year. 2 new coordinators and they're struggling. They had to take play calling away and stuff like that from one of them. You got to worry about that. And it's not that he's not going to know the plays or anything to that effect. It's knowing when to call it. And the scenario you're going to call it and things like that. That worries me about Ole Miss. But Ole Miss and Texas A&M are probably the best 2 teams in the SEC this year. If I was to say,
come on, you're eliminating Georgia?
No, I'm a huge Georgia fan. I love me some Kirby Smart. Like if Kirby Smart ever became available, I will personally cut the $1 million check ASU to bring him in here. Now I'm comfortable in saying that, Dale, because it's never going to happen, and I don't have to worry about cutting that check. I don't have. So I give them props for the on. Oklahoma's offense is not good.
No.
But their defense is outstanding, so they got a shot at it, right, from that side. Alabama I am down on. They're a good team, but I just don't. They're definitely steps down from the teams. Oh, even Oklahoma's a step down from the teams we've already mentioned at that point. Other than that, Vanderbilt's the only other one where you go, all right, I like the way they play.
The one team.
Dale, I just named like 5 teams. That's a conference of how many teams?
16.
And I named 5-6 teams.
Yeah,
that means majority.
That's a third.
That means a majority of the teams are as bad as the Mountain
Well, you
West
can
Conference.
do that for every conference.
Yeah, but not every conference acts like they're the hardest thing since sliced. Oh my God, we play the hardest teams every week.
Well, how about this? The one team in my mind that's escaped all scrutiny, what team do you think that would be?
Texas?
No.
Oh. In the SEC?
No.
Just in general?
In the top 12.
In the top 12. Notre Dame.
How about Indiana? Their first 3 games were Old Dominion, Kennesaw State, and Indiana State, which is only known for Larry Bird back in the 70s.
I have a theory on why.
Why they're escaping any scrutiny of their schedule?
Remember last year when Indiana surprised everybody and was in this position?
Yeah.
And then they got their butts handed to them. It
Right.
was a blowout game on that side. I think everybody's realized that. So Indiana has a ton of talent. Remember that one game they won by the dude catching it and getting his foot barely down in the end zone? They barely won that game, right?
That's against Penn State.
Penn State.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. People like the head coach and things like that. But have you even noticed this weekend? Last year it was like, ooh, is Indiana going to be able to handle? And this year, just nobody's talking about it. I just think they're overhyping them up a little bit. And I'm curious. I'm curious to see if Indiana has, even their head coach this week was saying, we're not even in the recruiting hemisphere of Ohio State going into this game. And a good showing in this game will make us get closer to them. And he goes, but we're still a worlds away from them.
Right.
They know where they are, and I think that might be why they're sneaking underneath the radar a little bit.
Because they are. I've not
last year they weren't, but this year I agree with you.
And again, those first 3 games, come on now.
Well, I mean, Ohio State, they played Texas to begin the season, but it's not like their schedule was Grambling, Ohio,
Texas,
Washington, Minnesota.
Well, Washington, year in and year out, is pretty good.
Yeah, not this year.
When you make the phone call to Washington,
Wisconsin,
you make a phone call to Washington. Obviously, they're in the same league now. But it used to be you make a phone call to Washington or to Portland State.
No, I don't. No, hold on. They're in the same conference, but Grambling, Ohio. But here's the other teams that Ohio State had to play, folks, in their conference. Because I have a problem with the Big 12. The difference is the Big 12 doesn't act like we play everybody hard every week. We can't do this because everybody in our conference is good. It's just not the case that everybody in the SEC are barn burner SEC teams, is why I make fun of the SEC. It's just not the case, folks. The bottom half of their league is straight trash. Okay? Let's be clear about that. But, look at this. So forget about the non-conference, right? Grambling, Ohio. They played Washington, which Washington's a decent team. They finished 6-4. Something like that for the season. They had But they played Washington, Minnesota, not good as well. Illinois, they're a decent Big Ten team, but they're not a juggernaut. They're not a national power, right? They'll win with Brent Bielema there. They'll win some games. They'll lose some games. They're probably like a low 20s ranked team nationally. But so there's decent. But then Wisconsin straight trash this year. Penn State straight trash this year as well.
But they started out number 2.
Purdue straight trash this year. UCLA straight trash every year anymore, let alone this year as well. Rutgers, woo! Watch out for that juggernaut Rutgers, Dale. Michigan, which Michigan was ranked, but I don't consider Michigan a top tier program in the country right now with what they got and their coaching and stuff like that. That's literally Ohio State's schedule. It's garbage. Ohio State should run the table with that schedule. Well, they did play Texas to start this season.
Wow.
And they hurt Arch Manning enough that it hurt his shoulder as well, which causes all his problems. I'm just saying. That's who they played. Did Ohio State play Oregon? No. Did Ohio State play SC, who was a surprise team this year? No. No, they didn't. Did they play Iowa? Did I name Iowa in that? No. Whether you like it or not, Iowa was a better than average football team this year on that side. Did they play Iowa? No. They played a lot. I mean, the only teams that they're missing here is Northwestern, Michigan State, Maryland, and then just add those onto the Ohio State schedule this year to make it even easier for
them. So what's the best conference in the country, Steve?
Oh, obviously it's the Mountain West, Dale. Conference USA. Oh my gosh, they play in and out. Just nonstop battles out there. No, I'll fully admit, on the top level, the top teams of the SEC makes the SEC the best conference because their top 4 or 5 teams, maybe 6 teams, are juggernauts and hard to beat. Period. End of story. Ohio State, isn't that good enough in the Big Ten to elevate the whole conference. And Indiana is still an unknown. I'm just going to say, I was looking at every way possible last night to pick Indiana in this game against Ohio State. Any way possible. Anything on the planet that points me to Indiana's going to beat Ohio State this weekend. Couldn't find one. That tells you Indiana's going in and winning this game.
A bus crash on the way to the stadium?
Well, I didn't factor off the field stuff. A massive snowstorm in Ohio State can't show up. They can't get out of the hotel. They can't get out of the hotel. And I'm being serious when I look at that. Like I was legitimately trying to find a way to pick Indiana because I don't want to pick Ohio State. And there's just so many unknowns. The talent level's a step down, which every team in the country's talent level's a step down from Ohio State on the offensive side, especially.
Well, their defense is number 1 in the country.
That's what I was going to get at next. Is then you have their defense on top of it. But look who they played. Dale, you and I would play good against Wisconsin. Minnesota.
Oh, Steven.
Come on back, folks. We'll keep it rolling. We'll get our college football picks coming up as well for this weekend. Penn State, man, they're just throwing darts against the dartboard at this point to find out who their coach is.
This guy doesn't want us. This guy doesn't want us.
Let's look at Iowa State. Matt Campbell out of the blue.
Jeez Louise.
Come on back, folks. The main event. And we're back here, main event. I don't know what Dale's watching over there on his phone, but out of context, it's interesting.
Don Rickles.
Oh, is
Do you
that what
remember
it
him?
is? I do, yeah, absolutely.
The days in comedy was gold.
Boy, man, we're just going for that young audience this week with me calling Lawrence Welk, and you're talking about Don Wrinkles now, dog.
Don Rickles.
Yeah, Wrinkles. I said it, and I'm all, that's not right.
Yeah. That sound right coming out of the mouth.
He
You
saw-
just snorted.
He saw me pause there for a second, like, I don't think that's right. I'm struggling to find it. Boy, we're going for the younger audience.
Yeah,
today
we are.
as well. Interesting enough, where's James Madison getting all their coaching money and everything right now? Billy Napier is going to be the new head coach there of James Madison coming up. Of course, Bob Chesney, their current coach, is going to UCLA after this year. He's finishing out the season with them, and then he's going to go over there as well. Billy Napier, James Madison does not have an empty cabinet there.
They don't?
No, we haven't. We don't have numbers on what he's getting paid to go there. It's not going to be anywhere near SEC money. But man, from down to James Madison. Maybe Billy Napier goes, this is a place I can rebuild my reputation and come back pretty quickly. Get back up there. Go to a real school, not one of those crappy ones like Florida. The Gators. When was the last time the Gators were like really good consistently? Was it the old ball coach? Like, they've been up and down since then, haven't they?
Yeah.
Like, it's just not that consistent up at the top type of a program anymore. It's fascinating. Same thing with Florida State. Since Bowden left, up, down, up, down, up, down. A lot more downs than up as well. Robert does chime in. Don't forget, text us 623-252-6670 or hit us up at TME Short Sports Show on X. Whether you're listening to us live here at Robat TV or watching us on demand here at Robat TV, the YouTube page as well for our production company, or listening to us on the podcast system as well. Robert says, don't all teams that are on the outside looking in want another game? That's my point. That's why I can't stand teams. Oh, it's unfair. We had to play an extra game. Shut it. You had the opportunity that the rest of the top 25 would kill to have this weekend.
But you're saying the ones that are not in the top 12. If you're in the top 12 and you can play your way out.
But you can't have it both ways.
Yeah,
If Alabama was 13th, they'd be chomping at the bit to play this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
But because they can get technically knocked out this weekend, they all of a sudden don't want to play it. You can't have it both ways. That's all I'm saying. In my opinion, you can't have it both ways. It drives me nuts. Penn State, he said Penn State is going to end up with Brian Kelly. Going to be hilarious to hear his new accent. Yeah, what's that Plateau, Pennsylvania accent that you would have? Oh, my God, does he show up Amish? With the beard. Ready to raise the barn.
Wow.
I don't know if Penn State, if they were in on Brian Kelly, wouldn't they already be in on Brian Kelly? That makes sense. Why are you going?
Yeah.
Why are you going all the way? And this isn't. I love Matt Campbell at Iowa State. I don't know if Matt Campbell can find a better job than Iowa State. Meaning, I don't know if he steps up if he does as well as he's done at Iowa State, is what I'm getting at. But when you're looking at Iowa State's Matt Campbell now, I don't know if you go back to a Brian Kelly at that point. And then you got Kansas State head coach just retiring out of the blue this year. And did you see the AD yesterday? Almost crying yesterday that they're losing him. And he's leaving because of the state of college athletics. He just doesn't want to deal with the transfer portal and the kids and all of that stuff and everything. So a really good college coach is out because he doesn't want to deal with it anymore at Kansas State. That's not. Gotta fix this
And you
thing,
see
man.
who they hired? Former quarterback.
Yeah, and it's and they even went. Everybody's going. Nobody's going big name this year, other than LSU. Name another school looking for a coach that went big name this year. They're all hiring these mid-majors.
You're saying Campbell from Iowa State's not a big name?
Well, have they hired him?
No.
Dale, I would put money that Penn State's not getting Matt Campbell.
I don't know if you're Matt Campbell why you would go there.
That's my argument. But I mean, James Madison's coach, North Texas lost their coach, Tulane. All these mid-major teams are getting. All the big schools are getting these mid-major people.
Right.
The big-name coaches aren't getting. Billy Napier went to James Madison. If you're Penn State, why aren't you looking at Billy Napier? I like it
because he just got fired.
Yeah, but I mean, Florida's a garbage. Everybody, you go to Florida to get fired these days. Terrible. And then Robert says the younger audience is not ready for Don Rickles. Way too many will be offended.
Can you imagine him trying to get along in this day and age?
He wouldn't have made it. He'd have been canceled early on and that stuff.
That little blurb, he was on the Letterman show and Denzel Washington was with him.
All I heard was Nazi. I was having that conversation last night at dinner. We went to Chili's last night, and me, Autumn, and Ireland, and we were talking about it, and I was like talking about like everybody has ADHD, like everybody's on the spectrum, and everybody has ADHD now. And I looked at Ireland, and I go, man, when I was a kid, you know how we handled ADHD? We just shut up about it and went on with our lives. And we were told to quit crying. There was no medicine. There was no like, oh, poor kid has ADHD. No, it was shut up and get your homework done.
Get a swat from the principal.
You should have seen the look on Ireland's face when I said it. She was all.
I was telling this story to my daughters. Maybe it was a couple weeks ago, and I said, the word. I never minded getting a swat, and I wasn't a bad kid. I just talked. But the worst part about getting a SWAT was you had to go ask another teacher to come witness you getting a SWAT. Hey, excuse me, are you busy? Can you come watch me get swatted?
Hey, wait, the worst part is when they go, absolutely. I'm going to be there for that hella straight kid.
Hey, can I take a whack at him too?
They probably went, that hella straight kid's going nowhere in life.
Oh, how times have changed. Now let him feel his feelings.
I know. No, it was funny. Ireland's reaction was like, really? And I was like, no, really. You were just told to shut up and deal with it.
Yeah.
I was like, anxiety? Oh, yeah, you just still did what you were going to do, regardless of how anxious you were about it. It was just kind of funny to see her reaction on that. But speaking of anxiety.
Uh-oh.
College football picks.
There you go.
What a transition.
Yeah.
You got tonight's game, Troy at 25th ranked James
Madison. We're not
Madison
picking that,
into this game. Look, this is important because we're going to get a playoff team out of these two games. I got James Madison winning this game against Troy tonight. Why? I don't know. I haven't watched it.
Okay, will you give me an hour or so I can watch some film?
You're going to go James Madison also.
Yeah.
So let's go with that. Because we're picking all the bowl games like we do too. So Dale always picks the higher ranked team and all that. And the favorite is all he does on that, at least last year. But the bigger one tonight, North Texas, 24th ranked and 20 ranked Tulane. Right now, Tulane is in that driver's seat. Dale, do we see an upset with North Texas winning this game?
The Mean Green from Denton, Texas.
Stupidest name on the planet.
You know what? Give me Tulane.
Yeah, I got Tulane also. Because both coaches are coaching, even though they're moving on. They're coaching and finishing out their season.
Right.
So I do think Tulane is going to be the 12th team in this college football playoffs, which is interesting because that coach went, man, if it's us, we got problems.
We're not good enough to play with them.
And I gotta respect the thing on that. But then you got BYU, 11th ranked BYU at Texas Tech. I also spent last night trying to find any way possible that I could pick BYU in this game.
How about the emotional roller coaster they've been on, and now the high because Satake is going to stay?
The coach is staying.
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't even want Penn State. He was like, I'd rather stay in Provo, Utah, than go to college, whatever, state college. Texas Tech is the better team. Texas Tech has the most depth in this team. BYU will probably keep this game close, but I think at the end, Texas Tech wins this game, which I don't want to see. I want to see BYU win.
How on earth did ASU beat Texas Tech, right?
Backup quarterback. Remember? That was the backup quarterback game.
I was wondering, gosh, because I remember that.
ASU's defense played really well. And I'm not knocking Texas Tech backup quarterback until he got hurt out for the season. He actually played well, but they're a different team with their starter not in there. Yeah,
Yeah, and it's in Lubbock.
no, it's in Dallas, which is
closer to
yeah.
Lubbock.
I mean, oh my God, can you imagine people get off the highways because Lubbock's emptying out? They're like any excuse to get out of that place.
Give me Texas Tech.
Yeah, how many BYU fans are going to travel? Now BYU has one of those teams that has fans everywhere.
Yeah.
But how many of them are going to travel to?
Not as many
to
as Texas
Lubbock,
Tech.
right? Exactly. So then you got Georgia, Alabama in this game. I'm all dogs, baby. Dogs are the best. Let's go Georgia. Whatever. I'm trying to do the fight song. I don't even know it. I got Georgia beating Alabama, and then we're gonna have to listen to Alabama and the SEC people cry. It's not fair. We had to play an extra game. We deserve to be in with 3 losses because we had to play an extra game. I hope Georgia wins by 30.
Wow.
Go ahead, pick your Alabama school.
Well, I want chaos. And chaos would be Alabama beating Georgia, see how far they fall and things like that. But I also kind of like the chaos of does Alabama get in if they lose?
Well, that's the bigger question to me. That's what I want to see. That's the answer I want to know.
Yeah, and I think Georgia's a better football team. I think they find a way to win it.
And then you got Indiana, Ohio State. And I did this earlier. And I had a feeling we were picking all these games the same this weekend because, quite frankly, this is the other problem with these big conferences. You get kind of mismatches going into the conference tournament. And by mismatches, I just mean talent-wise, right? You do, in this case, in the SEC, I'm actually extremely mad Texas A&M lost. So I wanted to see them in this game and see what they could stand up against. But then Indiana, Ohio State. And it's hard to say 1-2 is a mismatch. Indiana has a crap ton of talent. They've proven they can win games late on the road there at Penn State. They've proven how great they are and all that. Ohio State is another world. They showed early in the season they can beat a really good team, with very little points on the board, and that was that Texas game. Then they also showed they can boat race you with all their talent. I do think this is going to be a closer game than a lot of people are saying it's going to be. I just, in good faith, because we're picking games here and bragging rights, and I can't have Dale beat me this season because I'll never hear the end of it. I just can't pull the trigger on Indiana. I'm hoping for Indiana. I want Indiana to win. I'm hoping for Indiana to win. I just don't know if they can get it done at the end. And if they do, I'll be happy to lose this, but I got Ohio State.
You yapped a lot there, and not a whole lot made sense. They realize that there's a guy named Mendoza who plays for Indiana.
I also understand that the Heisman Trophy winner, Sayans, on the other side.
I'm not so sure it's going to be him, especially after tomorrow night's game. I think Indiana's improved enough this year that I think they'll give Ohio State a game. I think Ohio State, emotionally, they finally beat Michigan.
Yeah. You say a letdown game?
I could see that it might be a little bit of a letdown game. I had a long conversation with an Ohio State fan yesterday, and I asked him. I said, "So you beat Michigan. What happens if you win one playoff game this year? The season a success?" Boy, they him and hawed a lot, but beating Michigan kind of makes up for everything. I don't know. I just got a funny feeling. Why don't you give me the Hoosiers?
Right.
Give me the Hoosiers. I sense a little bit of a letdown. I think Indiana's going to be really, really up for this game. And Mendoza over Saying.
I'm just not. I just can't pull the trigger on Indiana. I want to so bad, but I agree with you on that. So I'm glad you did it.
Okay.
So you can look like an idiot. I think if Ohio State has a letdown, to be honest with you, it's going to be in the playoffs. Because they've had a fairly easy season, and they won it last year, and they got over that hump, and they beat Michigan this year, and I think that might be where you see that. Robert says, isn't the North Texas QB moving on too? He's thrown for a gazillion yards. He is, but I don't think he's leaving. They're letting him play and everything, coaching him, playing at the same time. At least last I read, that was what the situation was. So there's no changes coming from that side. Coming up as well for them. So we'll take our break here. Come on back. We'll talk NFL and some other fun stuff. Dale takes off at 9:30 today. I'll get you through the rest of the show after that. Oh, it's Friday, folks. Big weekend of
Yeah, you
sports
got a
ahead.
big weekend coming up, Stevie.
Big Friday. If I
No
survive
wrestling.
Friday, I got nothing this
Cardinals
weekend.
at home, right?
Yeah, I'm not going.
What kind of fan are you?
I'm not one right now. The Cardinals can go F themselves with their boring football.
Whoa!
I'm wasting my time driving across town and a whole Sunday
Gilbert Police
to watch you lose by
Cardinals,
70 to the
ASU.
Rams. Even if the Card, I said this to Autumn. I said, even if the Cardinals win and beat the Rams, will I care?
And
You
worst
know what-
draft pick.
You know what the answer was to that? Nope.
No.
Won't care at all if the Cardinals beat the Rams this weekend. Come on back, folks. Main event. There's no value to it. Come on back, folks. Well, welcome back, folks. Come on back. Welcome back. Fired up. I was telling Dale my rationale on the Cardinals game this weekend.
Between Steve and my brother. Oh,
Yeah,
my God.
just when you look at it, and I've had seasons before where I've given up on the Cardinals late season. You know, the year what was that year when that one guy was a coach for 1 year and they had Sam Rose, Jeff, what's the name, Rosen, not Sam Rosen, but Rosen as quarterback.
Josh.
I gave up on them at the end of that year too. I was like, just somebody take these things off my hands.
Right.
It's not, you know, you don't buy season tickets here in Arizona to make money off.
No,
You just don't. If you're in Green Bay, it's a different story. You get them and you sell them. New York Giants, it's a different story. You buy them because you can unload them and make money on them, stuff like that when you don't want to go. Here, you don't do that. But I'm not going to double down with worse money and drive across town, spend an
Spend all
ungodly
that.
amount of money on food,
Spend all that electricity.
all that time on Sunday. You're not getting back till 7 p.m. And when it comes down to, I just don't care if they win or not. If they surprise win and beat the Rams this weekend, good for them. But it doesn't mean they have 4 wins on the season.
What that means
Why
is
do you
they'll
care?
have a worse draft pick in April.
Do you have faith that they're going to have a good draft, that they're going to draft good with what they've done lately?
Well, that's a whole nother question, but let's wait till April for
I
that.
can care less what their draft pick number is because they're going to, whoever it is going to come in with a calf injury or not know how to catch.
And a heel injury.
It's, tends to be the trend around here. So why do I care if they get a number 2 draft pick? Get excited for that calf injury coming to camp.
Wow.
Hey, last night, your Cowboys, did they blow their playoff chances, Dale?
Oh, I think they did.
I'll tell you this, their chances, I gave the odds yesterday, ESPN's odds on if Cowboys won, Cowboys lost, if Lions won, lost.
Right.
And I don't remember what they were, but they weren't good for the Cowboys had to win, and it still wasn't. It was like 39%,
I
even
think
if
it's
they won last
10%
time.
now.
Well, now it's 7
Okay.
playoff chances. They went from the 9th spot, and they went to the 10th spot with that last night.
Oh.
Whoever lost last night was going to drop to the 10th spot. And they moved down to that 10th spot. They're behind the Carolina Panthers right now. Obviously, we have games coming up this weekend. Carolina's chances are 18%. The Lions, excuse me, folks, I have eye problems here. 54% for the Lions to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Lions aren't even in the playoffs right now, folks. They're the first team out with their schedule and stuff to that effect. So now the Cowboys can win out and have a shot still. They're not out of it, but they hurt their chances last night to make it easier. They put a lot of pressure on themselves where they have to win out now as well. But, we didn't talk about it a lot on this show. I've made a couple digs about it, but CeeDee Lamb, and some of the players partying in Vegas before that Raiders game and showing up late and staying up all night, stuff to that effect. There's something of non-discipline with this team. And then last night, CeeDee Lamb goes down with a concussion, a bad one, by the way. How long's he going to be out with that? And then just George Pickens looked like he was uninterested.
He looked totally uninterested. But instead of talking about the negative about the Cowboys, the thing that jumped out to me, because Bruce Cooper and I like to go around and around. And
Bruce on Tuesdays, by the way.
And that running back combination in Detroit, when Jared Goff is throwing the football like he was last night.
Well, Jared Goff throws the football like that because of Montgomery and Gibbs.
And I mean, they just took control of that football game, even missing a couple offensive linemen.
Yeah. Their offensive line, they need help on their offense. That's why Ragnar was going to come out of retirement.
He was going to try, yeah.
Yeah, and then he failed his physical, not going to. They need help on that line.
Yeah.
Which harkens me to the Cardinals. And I'll just sit there and I think about the Cardinals at all times. Where I'm like, if you had two running backs that could run like that. Now, James Conner getting hurt, there's nothing you could do about that.
No,
but he's that type of guy.
Right.
I'm not sold on Trey Benson either, especially now. This whole game they're playing with Trey Benson every week. Oh, I don't know. Maybe this week. Oh, we don't know. And he's practicing, and they're not going to put him out. They're going to put him on. They're not going to activate his window. Well, they activated his window, but they're not going to put him on the regular roster. And he's just going to go on IR and end the season. This team and their injuries, man. For the Cardinals, but I digress. Cowboys put a lot of pressure on themselves to basically they have to win out now to stay in this battle. Now, they could get lucky and the Panthers falter, but the problem is they have the Lions ahead of them, and now they lose that head-to-head battle. But you got the 49ers in the 7th spot. Does anybody see the 49ers faltering a whole bunch coming up here? It's possible, but do you see them like just falling off a cliff and losing them? Does anybody see the Packers doing it? Does anybody see the Seahawks doing it? Buccaneers, of course, if they win the division, they're in regardless. But does anybody see any of those teams that are ahead? Even the Lions. I think the Lions are going to have a hard time making the playoffs as well coming up.
Well,
go ahead.
But this is where I'm looking at. Okay, so the Cowboys' schedule: Vikings
win,
Chargers. Vikings at home, Chargers at home.
That's going to be a toss-up.
But it's in Dallas.
Yep.
At Washington.
That's a win.
At New York.
That's a win.
So they could win out.
They absolutely can. This was the last tough game where you.
But I think this was the game that would have given you an indication: are they ready to go on a run? And they were not.
That's the way I look at it. It's not that they lost last night.
No.
It's that they had a receiver that got seriously hurt, but then you have a receiver that just didn't want to be out there. There's no other way to say it.
Well, if you're sitting here with Pickens, he's having this. A really, really nice
Good
season.
Absolutely gorgeous.
You know, I mean, you cannot argue with his stats as you look at him coming to this game. He's got 78 receptions, 100 for 1,179 yards. But again, had some people over last night. Watched the game. It's like with Luka.
Sorry, I couldn't make it.
It's like Luka. Well, I don't want you to drive cross town with electricity prices and all that, but. It's kind of like we're talking about the Luka Doncic trade and some other things that were going on. It's like, now if Luka showed up to Dallas each year like he showed up to L.A. this year.
They wouldn't have traded him.
You're not trading him and you're giving him the money.
Yes.
But you're looking at him going, I'm fixing to give you $300 million?
Yeah.
And this is the way you show up now. Well, if I'm Jerry Jones, the Cowboys, I'm looking at George Pickens going, gosh, there's this huge diamond, and you're going to want a lot of money. But then I see a game like last night. It's like, if I give you this money, how many more of these games am I going to get?
He had an opportunity, which earlier in the season when CeeDee Lamb was out, George Pickens shined.
Yes.
And it was brilliant.
Yes.
and he had an opportunity to step up. And it wasn't that he was dropping passes, though, Dale.
He wasn't
even
running.
he wasn't even putting his hands out. That one deep pass, he didn't even put his hands out, try to catch it, and it looked like it was right next to him.
A couple balls came to him, and he acted like he.
Well, the one interception bounced right off of his.
Well, what are you doing throwing to me?
I don't even think he got his hands up on that interception that bounced off.
Boy,
of him
that
to
would
that
just
guy.
scare me to death. Because there's a reason that Pittsburgh said no mas.
That's the other side of it is George Pickens has a history of caring more about TikTok in his videos than the football field, right? And
it's scary.
Teams don't give up on receivers like that.
No,
unless there's a reason.
Not that talented.
Not that and for a reason. He's got all the talent in the world, but that's what told me Dallas isn't ready for that next step.
Right?
Is that stuff now? Ferguson's a heck of a tight end. I love him as a tight end.
Did you see that ball get punched out?
Yes.
How are guys getting so stinking good at that?
Practicing.
I mean, literally, the Detroit linebacker from here to here.
Yeah.
Boom.
And right on the ball, just good enough that it pops out. And, it's always like, hold on to the ball. All right, you try to hold on to the ball in that situation. But then then you got those ref calls last night. Now, one of them benefited the Cowboys. Like, this is my problem. And I said this to you before this show. You go to replay on the safety. And you slow it down, you fast forward, slow it down, you stare at it for 10 minutes and everything. And you determine that ball crossed that line completely to overturn that safety. How you determine that's undisputable evidence that nose of the ball crossed that line. And you go through all that effort to decide that's not a safety, which would have changed the game in that moment, right? But then later on in the game, Cowboys are trying to come back, and Ferguson gets called for offensive pass interference on a swim move. And you can't review that and look at that for 10 minutes and determine that the refs are stupid morons and overturn that. That was a bigger game-changing moment then with Ferguson than the safety was.
Yes.
And they spent how much time on that safety? And we're not even sure he got it completely out. If you look at that ball was close to that
I would have
line.
said it was a safety.
Yeah. And we spent so much time on that, which was a big play, but the bigger play, we just go, refs are right.
And I would have not cared if there was a no call on that.
Even on the defensive side, I wouldn't, because he got beat and he just reacted.
Yeah.
But I would have been okay with no call, period. Yeah, you're right.
I'd have been okay with the no call. But then to compound it and say it was offensive pass interference.
My favorite thing about Kurt Herbstreit and Al Michaels, though, is they don't give two craps. They will just be like, that's terrible.
Yeah, but the thing I noticed last night, because I don't watch a whole lot of Thursday Night Football, I also think they just don't give a crap.
No, that's what I mean.
I think they're so disinterested in the game.
Yeah. But that gives you the comments you're not going to hear from the other broadcasters.
Most likely, but if you listen to Herbstreit on the NFL and then you listen to Herbstreit doing his Saturday game,
he breaks down college football games.
It's like he's eating cotton candy on Saturdays and on Thursdays. Like, all right, well, I'm making some money, so I'll do this.
But I think that gives that dynamic of, and then you got Terry McAuliffe, the referee guy, who's also just like, I don't know what they're looking at, guys. This is terrible. I've never seen anything this horrible in my life. It's just an amazing thing to see. I just don't get why some things are deemed important to stare at for 10 minutes and some things aren't.
Well, because there's certain things you say. Because if I kind of understand the fact that you can't review pass interference.
They tried it one year and it was an absolute failure.
It would be. I think it would. It's just such an absolute.
Yeah,
mess.
But the guy in the sky can just go.
Yeah.
Hey, idiot. Pick that flag up. You suck.
Yeah.
Come to my office when you're done out there. Pick that flag up.
I'll meet you.
And nobody can be embarrassed, right? And then you just go, no penalty flag on the play. And then everybody would have been mad because there's no defensive pass interference because everybody thought that's what it was. Because the defensive guy was more egregious than the offensive guy was.
Yes, no doubt about it.
So you can do it without actually reviewing the play with the guy in the sky.
And you have an out.
Yes.
Flags picked up, whatever they call it now. Yeah. It's not instant replay, but whatever, they buzz you
Yeah.
on the field, the call's been overturned.
Yeah.
Now somebody who nobody knows or sees is the one taking the
Yeah.
blame for it.
And that's how you can get away with it.
Yes.
So it's not reviewing it. It's no. That's not a
Right.
You're calling offensive on that?
Yeah.
No.
Hey, give me that. What's that guy's phone number?
Do you ever want to work in the NFL again? You're not calling that. Pick that flag up.
Oh God.
It drives me nuts how we spend all this time on stuff like that, and especially when the game's on the line. And it takes 2 seconds.
Yep.
When he goes, "Hey guys, we're going to call offensive pass interference," and the guy there goes, "What?
What game are you?
Are you effing kidding me right now?" It takes 2 seconds to fix.
Yeah.
None of us would know it was fixed. Nobody would know it happened. You're not embarrassing the referees
Nope.
at all, and it's an easy thing to fix.
Yeah.
I agree with not doing that. Was a disastrous year doing that,
Yeah.
but I mean they got to figure it out. Here's good news. If you're a Big 12 fan, because we all know Big 12 officiating is just stellar these days. Also, the NFL and the Big 12 conference are entering into a new strategic partnership. Apparently, we want to make refereeing worse for both leagues. Working side by side on officiating development, global football initiatives, emerging technology, analytics, and flag football expansion with the goal of growing the game for generations to come. But did you notice the first part there? They're working side by side on officiating development. Are we going to get improvement?
Yeah.
Is the bigger question here.
Hey, at the end of the day, as I've gotten older, I become more mature. And I understand it's a hard job. I understand it's a hard job. I will tell you this, the number one answer comes up, make full-time officials. That's BS. That's not going to work. You don't get better watching a film. You don't get better thinking about officiating 12 months a year. So I've become better at that. But like you said, that eye in the sky.
That's how you get better.
Bam. That's it. 2 seconds. You and I could be that guy going, no, wrong call. Pick up the flag.
Yeah. And you're not embarrassing them,
No.
which is 90% why they don't get corrected and they
Right.
don't like replay is because they don't want to be embarrassed. You just say into that headrest ear, that's the wrong call. Pick up the flag.
Pick up the flag. And he picks up the flag, and they can boo, but they don't even know who they're booing.
No, that's the problem. They're like, oh, that should have been defensive pass interference. They're like, well, we didn't flag for that, so whatever. And it's such an easy fix. And it's like they refuse to do it. And those are critical moments. That was a critical moment last night in that pass interference. I mean, the Cowboys had a chance to get back into that game and make it more competitive, and they just don't care. It's the same thing in Major League Baseball. When a ball's 12 feet outside, you can easily go, a great strike motion. Now change that to a ball because that was ridiculous. It's just ridiculous what we're dealing with. And we're getting into playoff time. And these are critical games. And I get it. You're right. Refereeing is hard. But calls like that, if it's a bang-bang play call, not one person in that stadium or anybody at home went, that was offensive pass interference. Not one person.
No. Even the Detroit fans.
So why in the heck did one referee say it was offensive pass interference? That's where you got to be able to fix it. Now, if he would have said defensive pass interference, there was an argument that there wasn't defensive pass interference. Like you said, I would have been fine with no flag on that play.
Yep.
But I also would have understood if they flew defensive pass interference. Then we can argue it. And I would never get mad at an official that calls defensive pass interference in that situation if they've been calling it that way all game.
Yes.
If they've had their flag in their pocket all game, and then all of a sudden at the end of the game, they're like, oh, ding, then I have a problem with you. And there's differences in what I'm arguing here on the bad officiating calls and not kind of a situation out there as well. So Cardinals, they're going to finish in last place in the NFC West. We all know that.
They are.
5 of the last 8 seasons they finished last in this. Now, that hasn't all been Jonathan Gannon, obviously, only in his 3rd year. But 5 of the last 8 seasons they finished last in the division. They're not even, we've been over that. They're not competitive in their own division, period. Even last year, they won 3 games in their division. So they went 500, and then they went on that run. You have to be competitive in your division to compete in this league. And they're not. It's embarrassing. You want to have a worse stat, Dale? Oh, go ahead with your thoughts on that. I'm rambling on terrible Cardinals stats right now.
I just pulled up this. I didn't realize this. I knew the NFC West was good. I didn't realize that the other three teams all have 9 wins.
Yeah. They're all going to have double-digit wins.
Wow.
Cardinals are going to have 3, maybe 4.
Wow.
It's not even. I don't even think I'm giving it justice with how bad this is by saying they're not competitive in their own division. They don't even exist in their own division. But you want to know something worse? And this is shocking to me.
Worse than that.
Win percentages of the Cardinals past 6 general managers. Kyle Odegaard, who used to work for the Cardinals, put this out the other day. Who do you think was the winningest GM in the Cardinals' history?
Bald guy.
Last 6. No, in the last 6.
Well, who's been the general manager?
Well, Steve Keim, Rod Graves, Larry Wilson, Buddy Ryan, and I'm going to even go back to Bob Ferguson.
You're going last. You said last 60 years.
No, last 6 general managers.
Okay.
Some of them were around. Rod Graves was around for a long time.
Which gave him an opportunity to get a lot of losses.
Bob Ferguson was around for a long time.
I think it's the bald guy.
Monty?
Huh?
Wait, Monty's bald?
No.
Rod Graves was bald?
No.
Steve Keim?
Yeah.
Steve Keim has the winningest percentage.
Yeah.
500. Look back at that Cliff Kingsbury era. Remember how negative we are about it? They won games in that era.
500, Steve.
500. That's the best GM output we've had.
Well, we went over the head coaches. I mean, they're not a head coach.
Rod Graves was
record.
there for a long time, and Rod Graves oversaw a lot of Sun Devil Stadium losses. He's still second place with a 406 winning percentage.
Really?
And he oversaw a lot of bad teams, folks. A lot of them.
It's almost like, well, when you see some of these turnarounds, and again, whether Indianapolis comes back to earth or not, or Jacksonville.
But even if Indianapolis comes back to earth, this is an improvement year for them in their third-year head coach.
Denver, hey, we're going to pay Russell Wilson $100 million, and we're going to still go 10-2 and make the playoffs.
2 years later.
You know, the Bears even have risen from the edge by one hire as the head coach. Mm-hmm. It's almost like you got to try to be this bad this long.
This is my point that I'm making here. You go back to Larry Wilson back in the day, 384 winning percentage. Buddy Ryan, which we went over his head coaching record, 375.
Got a winner.
Bob Ferguson, back again, Sun Devil days and stuff like that, 366. Have you noticed the name I haven't mentioned yet? Bob Ferguson, 366. And I've gone through 5 GMs.
Yeah, well, you haven't mentioned the current one.
Monty Ossenfort, 326 win percentage.
Lower than Ferguson?
Lower than Ferguson. And Bob Ferguson was the guy that was overseeing the late 90s there after the playoff run and the year after that.
The charge and draft picks for their draft day cap.
Yeah, exactly. He's the guy that famously went, "You come to me, not Mike Jurecki." Simeon Rice fiasco where Simeon Rice said, "I'm the deodorant." Best line ever. Monty Ossenfort. So here's the problem. Cardinals have had 6 GMs. Bob Ferguson dates back to the 90s, folks. Yeah. Larry Wilson is before that.
Yep.
6 GMs only in that time frame. None of them have an over 500 record. One of them has a 500 record, and that's recently. It's just when you don't hire GMs, when you don't hire head coaches with experience, and you continue to falter this, we know where the problem is here in this organization. It's obviously Michael Bidwell, and he's too busy abusing his women employees and handing up trophies that he probably pays for, the organization pays for, and he's too busy having all of his organization clap for him when he comes out of his office all awkwardly, and they look like they're held hostage, like it's a North Korean propaganda video for their dear leader walking out, and everybody's got to clap for him, even though they're all starving and everything. It just look at this, man. Rod Graves, Larry Wilson, Buddy Ryan, Bob Ferguson, Steve Keim, and Monty Ossenfort.
Steve Keim's the best of the bunch,
And he wasn't there half the time. Sorry.
Oh,
I didn't mean to jump your thing.
No,
there,
but that's the truth. It's like, well, what when you hear Steve Kimes' name, what do you think? Idiot.
I can tell you, besides his DUI where he got suspended,
DUI.
he was leaving the office at noon for the last several years of his tenure there. He was leaving the office at noon and not paying attention to it because he was too busy partying with Cliff and wanted to hang out with Cliff's girls and everybody that wanted to be around Cliff and everything. If you haven't heard that story, it's out there. You can check it out, and it is confirmed. And it tells you what the problem is. Fire Jonathan Gannon, fire Monty Austin for. Guess what? We're talking about this again in 3 years.
There's no doubt.
We are.
And again, we talked about this yesterday when I was doing my Holmberg stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The NFL basically hands you a platter to be competitive. The worse you are, the better draft pick. The worse you are, usually the more salary cap room you have. The worse you are, you can go sign free agents. The worse you are, the better schedule or easier schedule you get. Everything is handed to you because they
five out of 8 seasons, the Cardinals have finished 4th in this division, and they don't win a season.
In a perfect world for the NFL, everybody should be 9-8 or 8-9.
Yes, that's what they want. Yeah.
And yet the Cardinals can't take any of that.
That means 5 out of the last 8, they had weaker schedules than the competitors, and they still finished last in the division.
Oh, Steven.
This is how bad it is for Cardinals fans, man. Cardinals, the organization, and Cardinals. But keep holding up those humanitarian awards on how great you are around the community, Michael Bidwell.
Make sure you get that season ticket money.
I got news for you, and I've said this before. I said it on Twitter as well. To the people that are like, a couple famous people, influencers or whatever you want to call them, going, I'm not doing this. Things need to change here. Folks, it ain't changing. Not only that, it's been this way for years. Michael Bidwell, his dad, salt of the earth, man, just absolutely the nicest human being you will ever meet. Cared about the community, did all of that stuff and everything. And the problem was he was a terrible owner. For what he did. But my God, at least he had the other side of the quality where he took care of the community quietly, by the way, didn't fanfare it, didn't do all of that stuff, and just took care of the community. Michael Bidwell, worse than his dad as a football owner, by the way, worse than his dad, and isn't as nice as his dad on that side as well. No redeeming qualities whatsoever. And it's just second generation, folks. Just remember that.
Well, and here's the other thing. At least last year at this time, they were competitive. They were fighting hard.
Before they fell apart.
And but they still competed. And you saw, next year.
Even the Cliff years, though, they were competing.
And now you're going, though, you're 3-9. Who's going to be your quarterback? Who's going to be your coach?
Who's going to be back?
Oh.
Who's re-signing with this?
The thing is, not only does this season suck for Cardinal fans.
You have to redo your whole offensive line this year, except for Paris.
Yes, but so not only do they suck this year, but there's no hope.
That's the problem.
And then
last couple of years, you had hope. And this is what sucks about it. This fan base did what most fan bases don't do. They were willing to settle for a 3-year rebuild.
Yes.
And 3 year has been just a colossal disappointment.
And then you look at the division. The Rams supposedly sold their soul to the devil to win the Super Bowl.
Haven't skipped a beat.
Boom.
Haven't skipped
They're
a beat.
right back in there. You got Seattle Seahawks. It's like, they had a
Fire
great
Pete
run.
Carroll, who's had a great run.
Yeah.
And they're better. They probably have a better defense than Pete Carroll ever had up there.
And then the freaking 49ers have more injury games this year than you do.
That's what's most disappointing to me. Is we have a parallel in the division, and that's where I get disgusted by it. I'm not going to listen to Jonathan Gannon complain about injuries and why we're in this position. And that's what they're blaming it on. You just can't blame it anymore because the Niners are in the same boat.
Oh,
and they have 9 wins.
So this are you going to send me off on the weekend, Steve?
No, I'm not.
No, you're not.
You
got something else?
Steelers or Ravens? Pick it real quick.
At Ravens, I'll take these Steelers.
Man, you're taking the Steelers?
No, I'm sorry, I'll take the Ravens.
Man, I don't think the Ravens can win this game with how awful they look lately, but I also can't trust the Steelers either. I think Steelers are going to go down a downhill thing. They've lost the locker room. Mike Tomlin doesn't want to be there. Nobody wants him there. I think the Ravens are going to skim by and win this game. Colts at Jaguars. Lots of division games this weekend. I'm going Jags in this game. I think the Jags are going to overtake the Colts and win this division. Ultimately, I'm picking Jaguars in this game.
It's Colts at Jaguars?
At Jags.
Jaguars.
And don't forget, Sauce Gardner's out with that calf strain.
Yeah, I mean, him out, I think right now Jacksonville's playing better.
Trevor Lawrence scares me, though. But so does Daniel Jones. He's
Yeah,
had some bad games, too.
Who scares you less?
I think the Jaguars are going to overtake the Colts. Colts are still going to be pushing for a playoff spot, but I
Right.
think the Jags win that division. Bengals at Bills this weekend. The only reason I have this game in here is Bills don't look right either. And then you got Joe Burrow back, and look how good he looked last Thursday against the Ravens. This is a question mark. I'm going to pick Bills, but I'm not too sure the Bengals don't win this thing.
You have 10 days of rest if you're Cincinnati. Joe Burrow's back. He obviously makes them better. Boy.
Yeah, I'm torn in this. This is the one game where I'm like, this is a toss-up. I just hope they
In
both have
Buffalo,
fun.
in Buffalo, I'm going to take Buffalo.
Yeah,
Because if they don't win this one,
they're in trouble.
yeah.
They're going to be outside the playoffs looking. They have the last playoff spot right now.
Right.
They don't start winning, they're going to be out of the playoffs. Bears at Packers this weekend. I'm going Bears.
Talk about winning ugly.
Mm-hmm.
But winning, they got the number 1 seed.
I know, and the Packers defense is really good, and I just have all the faith in the planet that Ben Johnson's going to dial up something. And it's going to be a close game, but I think the Bears are going to squeak that one out.
And that's all the Bears play.
At Packers.
I think I'll take the Bears too.
I think Jordan Love, if the Packers turn the ball over, they have no chance because the Bears, that's what the Bears defense does. Rams at Cardinals, obviously I'm Rams.
Well, let me see. Let me break this down. So,
Rams by 400, is that a possibility? Will the Rams break scoring records this weekend? You guys thought the Seahawks and the 49ers games were blowouts. Well, here's the problem. The Rams are coming in pissed off. They had that Panthers game won last week. They let them come back into it and beat them. In Carolina, they know they need to keep winning. They were the number 1 seed or fighting for that number 1 seed. They were the best team in the NFC. They're not regarded that now. They're coming in angry. And I don't like an angry Rams team coming in here. So I got the Rams winning big.
there is absolutely not one thing that I can point to that says, you know what, if happen, the Cardinals might have a chance.
Jacoby Brissett might score a touchdown late in this game to make him come within 40, Dale.
I bet you he throws for 300 yards.
I'm actually shocked. I saw Lou yesterday. The spread on this is like 8.5, and I'm like, that number's low. Crashed the Rams line on that.
Give me the Rams.
Texans at Chiefs, Sunday Night Football. Texans, baby. 7-5 Texans are winning this game based off of their defense. I just think the Chiefs. Now, Chiefs are the better team. Chiefs should win this game. I like what the Texans are doing right now, and they have so much confidence, especially on that defensive side. I'm gonna go on a limb on here. Say Texans are winning this game.
This game's in Kansas City.
No, I don't care. That defense can play anywhere, baby.
It's in Kansas City. Kansas City championship squad.
6-6.
Championship squad.
Need a win to stay alive.
I just don't think Houston will be able to step on their neck and put them out of their misery.
No, Houston's offense is terrible. It's going to come down to the defense if they have a chance.
And so I'm going to take Kansas City.
Yeah, I'm sticking my neck out on the Texans. The Texans' offense isn't going to win that game for them. The defense is going to have to do it. Eagles, Chargers, Monday Night Football. Is the quarterback Herbert playing with a just had surgery on his non-throwing hand? Folks, he's playing. If you look at he's not practicing. But everything they're saying tells me they're going to put him into this game, and they need the win here as well. Eagles are just faltering all over the place right now. A terrible running game. Chargers defense is really good. Dale, who do you got in this one?
It's in Los Angeles.
In L.A.
Probably a lot of Eagles fans out there. Gosh, they're the Super Bowl champions. But they are in disarray. Go and give me the Chargers.
I was going to say, okay, all right. Well, I didn't think you'd do that. Well, here's the other problem. Eagles have to win to keep pace with the Cowboys of all teams.
Well, they get the
as well.
Cowboys had a win last night to keep pace, and they didn't. So.
I don't disagree, but that's why I think the Eagles on this side. But you know what? With Justin Herbert and his surgery and everything, I'm going to lean Chargers in this one.
I just took the Chargers. Why don't you take the Eagles?
Because I don't.
They have Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, has nobody to run behind this year. All right, you know what? I'll do it.
They have Jason Kelce.
I'll do Eagles.
Talking about him.
I'll do Eagles. You do Chargers. I do. I don't know.
I love all your. I love how you spend an hour and a half in analytics and figure things out.
That game I honestly don't know.
No.
Because if Herbert was playing, I'd have more confidence in him, and he didn't just have surgery.
He's playing,
but does he fumble the ball on accident because of whatever's going on with his hand?
Aaron Rodgers really did fumble the ball last week. He just broke his nose.
Did you see his eyes? His eyes are all watering and everything.
Yeah. Have you ever broke your nose?
Yeah, and he's trying to throw the football, and he's just like he's just out there, just can't see anything.
Oh.
Dale's out of here, folks, for the weekend. Dale, play better than you did Wednesday, would you?
I will hope so.
Quit
stay
embarrassing the team, would you? The show, man.
Wow.
It's just Dale has a bad outing, and all of a sudden Moon Valley is all, stop listening to that crappy show. He sucks at golf. It's embarrassing. Go have fun.
Have a great
good
weekend, Steve. I hope things look up from here on out.
I got a busy day today.
I hope your car light gets fixed. I hope your HOA thing gets worked out.
I didn't announce that.
I hope that the Paramount, whatever,
Netflix
Business Venture works out for you.
You got a lot going on here, folks.
You do.
Five Nights at Freddy's 2 tonight as well. Let's do it, baby. Come on back, folks. I'll get you through the rest of the show here as well. Come on back. The main event. And we're back here. Main event. Dale's taking off to go play some golf again. Finally, the course is ready for him to drive all over it and everything. So I got you to the end of the show here on this Friday. Don't forget, text us 623-252-6670 as Autumn did late last night. You leave Monty alone. I miss getting yelled at like that about Monty and everything, of course. Text us. We don't text back on the text line. You know, we respect your phone's privacy, whether you're watching us live here at Robat TV, on demand on Robat TV, anytime over the weekend. Of course, the YouTube channel as well, where you can watch us on demand coming up here anytime over the weekend. And, of course, free podcast system. Just shoot that text along. We see it, read it, and, we always talk about them out there. Of course, you can text us or tweet at us at TME Sports Show as well. And Robert says, don't think Lord Farquaad cares about GM winning percentage. Team value has gone up. Only thing that matters to him, he goes, remember that crap about how he was a federal prosecutor so he could vet draft picks better than anyone else? Yeah, how did that Robert Candici vetting work out, right? It did work out with the Honey Badger, though. You know, he decided that he was a good enough kid to come on the squad and cleared him on that side. But, yeah, no, that's a bunch of load of garbage there as well. But, no, I honestly, and I feel this way as well, Michael Bidwell does not care if you buy season tickets or not. Buys a ticket to a game, he doesn't care. He does not care. He has to split the money unless it's a premium seat, which is why he's adding so many premium seats to the stadium. Unless it's a premium seat, that ticket revenue gets split between all the teams. He doesn't care if you buy a section 105, row 305 ticket. Doesn't care. He cares if you buy premium seats. Why do you think they're adding so many premium seats? Premium seats don't have to be shared with the rest of the league. More money in his pocket. Also, winning in the NFL doesn't bring you more money unless you have premium tickets, right? Winning doesn't bring you more money. Everything gets split with the other teams out there. He benefits with these other teams spending a ton of money and trying to win in this league. He benefits by not playing well. I've told you guys this before. Jerry Jones is the best business guy in the sport of football in terms of the NFL. Jerry Jones built a giant stadium, capitalized it, got off his stuff so we can maximize his revenue that stays with him in that stadium. Jerry Jones also realized, and probably the first one to do so, going 9-7 or 8-8 back in the day, 9-7 every season, is a monetary winning policy for your team. Period. End of story. Why shoot that payroll up and do all that stuff when you could just be competitive, go 9-7, 8-8, and then every couple years you make that playoff push and you go for it. The NFL does not have a financial incentive to spend the money and make a run for a Super Bowl. Period. End of story. You actually lose how much money you make in those scenarios. So owners, and I say this about Mark Davis. My theory on Mark Davis that everybody seems to disagree with me on that I asked, including Lou yesterday. My theory on Mark Davis is the Raiders are never going to be a good team again. Ever. Ever. Why is Mark Davis going to spend money on the team? Why is he going to add more scouts? Why is he going to hire expensive coaches, not just head coaches, but assistants and all of that stuff? Why have those expenses when your stadium's just going to sell out anyway? When all of your, your premier boxes are already bought by all the casinos. Why spend the money on it? Who cares if you don't win? You're making billions of dollars. Your value's going up. And Mark Davis is key. You get those 19-year-old good-looking Vegas chicks that want to be around billionaires. Right? It's no coincidence to me that Michael Bidwell has been getting all these awards this year after all the controversy over the last couple of years on how he's treated his employees. And all of a sudden, he's winning humanitarian awards and Hall of Fame awards and all that. Make no doubt about it. That's not a mistake, folks. It's, oh, look what I am. Look what award I got, guys. Oh, you're giving me this? Oh, thank you. It's so you forget about his abuse of his employees and everything and the way he yells at everybody all the time and treats people and that stuff out there. So, Robert, you're right. Michael Bidwell is one of those guys. All Michael Bidwell cares about is his status. He will never sell the team because you know why? It gives him a status. People bow down to him because of who he is as an owner of the Cardinals. We told you before. I think John Holmberg said it on his show as well. We told you before. Holmberg and his guests were at the Raw Room at the Suns game after that Jacksonville overtime game. And he was there 10 minutes after the game ended. He left that game early. When your owner doesn't even care to stick around at the end of his football game, and leaves to go to a Suns game and go to the Raw Room, hey, your owner doesn't care. Why don't you? Now, like I said, because people come at me all the time. Well, why do you have season tickets? My season tickets are for other reasons. I have businesses that I do, and it's an entertainment expense for my businesses and stuff to that effect, and things like that. Do I want to spend the money? I'd rather not. And like I said, I got one more year left on my contract, and then we'll decide. Will I keep season tickets? Maybe, probably. But am I going to go down from 4 to 2? Most likely. Am I going to change out of the premium seat area? Most likely, probably. I'm going to find ways to cut my expenses on that side to go. Because let's face it, people want to come and watch NFL football when they're here. Not everybody's jaded like we are. as we watch sports all the time and stuff that. But I tend to agree with you, Robert. Michael Bidwell just doesn't care about winning. Let me rephrase that. He cares about winning, and he would love to win. He just doesn't have to. There's no financial incentive for him to win. And as negative as people view Michael Bidwell, there's enough people that kiss his butt because he's the Cardinals owner that's more important to him than putting a winner on the field. His dad always wanted to win. Did he go about it the right way? No. Did he struggle at going about it to get it? Yes. Did he not stay up on current trends around the NFL? Absolutely. And it hurt him. But his redeeming quality was he took care of the community. Michael Bidwell, make no mistake about it. It's about Michael Bidwell. I got stories galore of interactions with Michael Bidwell, not just with me, but people that I know and trust and things like that. Unless you have something that Michael Bidwell needs or wants, he doesn't pay attention to you. He doesn't care about you. Keep that in mind. And his staff tells you that as well. But, hey, for the weekend, enough of that negativity. We'll see what the Cardinals do this weekend against the Rams. Suns weekend coming up here tonight. They get back on the court finally tonight, right? It feels like the Suns haven't played. I was saying that last night. Man, it feels like the Suns haven't played in like a month. And it legitimately feels like that as well. They get back on the court tonight. This time they're at Houston. Kevin Durant's playing. Of course, he missed this stint last time. 6 p.m. tip-off here. No Devin Booker tonight. Good news is, there's a couple good news here in this Devin Booker injury. One, it's not a bad strain, groin strain. It's not terrible. Give him some rest. He should be back from it. He caught it before it got really bad and everything. Positive there that it's not a terrible, groin strain for him. The other good news is the NBA Cup obviously is on touring. I know we don't really care about that. We kind of joke around about it a little bit. But with the NBA schedule means you're going to have a lot more days off. This Devin Booker's groin injury happened, and they've had all this week off, and they play again tonight. They're going to have more stretches like this coming up because of the NBA Cup, right, and the semifinals and things to that effect for that way. Like, for instance, they play tonight against Houston. They don't play again until Monday against the Timberwolves at Minnesota. So, again, they play tonight without Booker, Saturday, Sunday off, Monday again. Then they don't play till Wednesday, and that is the NBA Cup quarterfinals game. They play the Oklahoma City Thunder on Wednesday. That's over. That's basically 2 weeks of Devin Booker being out, and they're playing 3 games. That's very favorable to this injury happening when it's happened. Besides the fact it's not a terrible injury as well. Then after they play on Wednesday, December 10th. They don't play again until Thursday, December 18th. After that. Now, they could get in it. I'm assuming they're losing to the Thunder in that quarterfinal game. Otherwise, they will get more games. But you lose that game, you don't play again for 8 days. Warriors, Suns. Then 2 days later, you play the Warriors again there as well on the December 20th. Then you have 3 days off to December 23rd. My point here is, the injury's not bad, and they have a lot of dead space right now because of the NBA Cup. Both good news here for the Booker injury, if you want to look at good news. Obviously, you don't want to see Devin Booker hurt, but it is good news that it happened when it happened and that it's not a bad strain. Now, because of the breaks and everything, maybe Devin Booker takes a little bit more time than he normally would to come back and make sure that thing is healed properly. It's something like 33% of soft tissue injuries, meaning pulls, hamstrings, etc. Like 33% of NBA players re-injure that injury within a few games of coming back. Avoid that with Devin Booker. You've got the time frames coming up, and let him rest. Even if it's, hey, you can come back. So let's say on the 18th, they come back and play the Warriors. Hey, Devin, you can play in that game. You're good to go. Hey, let's give you a couple more days off just to be sure and let it heal from that perspective. Just saying. So Suns weekend coming up here with that Booker news yesterday as well. So it's positive coming into it. So that's where the Suns stand as of now. It's going to be nice to see the Suns play, and in Houston. I think Houston's the better team. Now they'll have Kevin Durant tonight as well. But I'm interested in seeing, right, Dylan Brooks back home, of course. The trade bait here got rid of it. We just saw him play Houston here in Phoenix. Well, this is back home again. Does Dylan Brooks step it up to another level tonight, going back to Houston, where they, of course, just disregarded him and things to that effect. So it'll be a fun little game to watch here tonight as well. Suns Rockets, 6 p.m., and then not again until Monday as well. And then did you see this on LeBron James last night, speaking of NBA stuff, news out there? LeBron James has had ridiculous, 1,268, something ridiculous, double-digit scoring games in the NBA. It's a ridiculous amount of time. So much so, right, that I tell you what, I'll tell you, 1,297 straight games, excuse me. I even shorted him by 30 games. Double-digit scoring. The next, he's the leader, obviously, at that level. The next person closest to him is Michael Jordan. He only had 866. Now that LeBron streak is broken as an active player, the next active player, Kevin Durant, 267 games. That's how long LeBron James has been scoring at least 10 points in a game. It's been forever, 1,297. And that record's important to him. You want to know how we know that record's important? One, it's LeBron and he cares about these things. But two, right, when the Lakers played the Suns the other night, they were just feeding him balls left and right at the end of that game. They're getting blown out to get him to 10. As soon as he hit that 10th point, they pulled him out of the game. He cared about it. Last night, though, look, is this LeBron James growing up? Is this LeBron James realizing it's not about him? Or is LeBron James tired of the grief he's taken after that nonsense against the Suns the other night? LeBron James had the opportunity to keep his 10 points going last night. Late in the game here as well, he had 8 points. So just one more basket. That's all he needs. He had 8 points. The game is running down. It's a tie ball game. So he can also win it and get that 10th point and keep the streak alive as well. But LeBron did something he generally doesn't do, right? He's done it more later in his career than he did earlier, but he didn't take the shot. Yeah, he did the extra pass, and he found somebody for the Lakers. I don't remember who it was, in the corner, and he made the game-winning buzzer beater at that point. So streak is broken up here. And it's a legitimate question because LeBron James is all about himself. Did LeBron James take up that shot and give up that shot and ruin the chance for? Because if he didn't make the shot, if he took it and didn't make it, he still has 8 points and they go to overtime. It wasn't like, they lost the game if he didn't make anything. So he still would have had a shot, right? Or is it just because LeBron took so much crap in Phoenix when he did that stuff that LeBron's like, all right, it's time to do the right thing here. I watched his around his locker with the media. I saw a bunch of stuff on that. He handled it well, too, in that point, which I was actually surprised by. He was like, no, I did the right basketball move to win the game. I passed the ball to my teammate who made the shot. And it wasn't sarcasm to it, anything to that effect. Look, if you have a 1,200, I get it. There's LeBron haters out there left and right. Trust me, I get it. But 1,297 straight games of double-digit scoring is an absolutely beast of a feat. I can understand wanting to keep that going and stuff to that effect, but not at the detriment of your team. I'll even go so far as Lakers were getting blown out against the Suns. I get why they were feeding the ball to keep that streak alive. It didn't matter. They were losing that game regardless. And then last night, he had the opportunity to be selfish, and he didn't. I'm going to do something I rarely do around here. I'm going to give LeBron credit. Regardless if there's ulterior motives, if he's tired of people making fun of him for the Suns thing, I'm going to give him the credit here. LeBron James did the right thing there, put his streak aside. Trust me, he knew that streak existed. He knew exactly how many points he had. And he knew what he needed to do to keep that streak alive. And he chose to do the right thing. So in this instance, I'm going to give a little props to LeBron James. Doesn't happen often, but I will give him, a little bit on that side. Other basketball news, Giannis who started meeting with the Milwaukee Bucks on his future with that team. Well, he's out 2 to 4 weeks now because he non-contact calf strain is what they said it was. At first when he went down non-contact, I was like, uh-oh, that's his Achilles out for the season. It's a calf strain, so he's going to be out 2 to 4 weeks, they say. We'll have to wait and see. How does that affect him being moved from the Milwaukee Bucks is the bigger question that you have to ask out there as well. So over the weekend, we're going to pay attention to Penn State's hiring decision. Look, you don't, and this is a lesson for the Cardinals as well, while you're deciding Jonathan Gannon or even Drew Penzing's fate, the whole coaching staff's fate. You don't fire people unless you have a plan for the replacement. Period, end of story. And it has to be a realistic plan. Like Penn State's fired James Franklin. They probably had coaches they wanted to talk to. But there's a difference besides saying, oh, we're going to go get Nick Saban. That's unrealistic. But they didn't have a plan at all. They're just trifling through. Right? BYU's head coach. Now they're to Iowa State, which isn't a bad choice. Iowa State's Matt Campbell. I don't know if Matt Campbell's interested in going to Penn State. Why would you be, in my opinion? I like Matt Campbell as a head coach. I think he's a phenomenal Iowa State head coach. I don't know if Matt Campbell's one of those coaches that either wants to step up to that level with that many eyeballs in that program, a failure in history. I'm talking the bad history, not the good Joe Ba history. The bad history. Do you want to leave Iowa State and go to that level? But Penn State, when you get rid of people and you fire people, you need to have a plan and a realistic plan. Florida, they went and got Tulane's head coach. UCLA, James Madison head coach is moving over. They had plans to hire people, and they got it done. Penn State was, UCLA fired their coach early, so they had a head start. Virginia Tech, got their guy, and James Franklin, ironically enough. Early on in this process, they were going to hire him as well. Have a process when you fire people and have a plan going forward. Don't be like Penn State and not have a plan. Don't do what the Suns did. Suns got Ott, right? But remember at the beginning of that, we were very critical of it here. Oh, we're bringing in 18 guys to talk to them. That's not a plan. That's throwing stuff against the wall and seeing what sticks and hope you get the right guy. Have a plan, a realistic plan to go get your guy or maybe top 3 guys. You may have one guy you want really badly, but you also have 2 guys that you would love to have as well, right? Penn State doesn't look like they have that. Other news around sports this weekend, if you're just hanging out this weekend and looking for sports, ASU men's basketball, Saturday night, 8 p.m. This is over at the Morgue over there in downtown Phoenix, the Mortgage Matchup Center. They play Oklahoma in that Jerry Colangelo Classic. Arizona is going to be down in Tucson, 8 p.m. versus 20th-ranked Auburn. So you got number 2 in Arizona against 20th-ranked Auburn down there in Tucson tomorrow night as well, Saturday night. So for you college basketball fans and local college basketball fans, there you go as well. And you know what? I'm not doing a good enough service here for Grand Canyon University basketball this year. Partly because I have said this before. I'm looking up their basketball schedule now because I'm not doing a good enough service not talking about them this year as well. And I'm going to be honest with you. Part of the reason why is I just haven't been able to get into Grand Canyon Antelopes basketball, men's basketball, for the last couple years. They were in a terrible conference. I didn't care about Tarleton State. I didn't care about any of those schools they were playing. The competition was weak. And I just had no interest in their success that they were having at that level, anything to that effect. Now, they're in the Mountain West. They have competition now, and we should be paying attention to Grand Canyon this year as well. And I didn't write them down. I didn't look them up early, and that's my fault. That's my disservice. I need to get back into them. They have Oklahoma State over there in. Is this in the Classic as well, or is this? Let me see where this game is being played at here really quick. PHX Arena. So this is the Jerry Colangelo, which makes sense because Jerry Colangelo has a relationship with Grand Canyon as well. So Oklahoma State Cowboys are playing Grand Canyon over there at PHX Arena, 5:30 p.m. tomorrow for that game. So that game is before the Arizona State-Oklahoma game afterwards as well for Grand Canyon University. But then the big news here as well tonight, if you're over in Tempe area and you like volleyball, that ASU volleyball program is really good this year, and they're hosting the regionals right now. Tonight, 6 p.m. over there at the Bank Desert Financial Arena. You know, that's the where the basketball teams play and everything as well. They play Utah State tonight. Why is this important? NCAA tournament. And there's some really good number one seeds in this NCAA tournament. Only one seed plays, I think it's tonight. All the other 3 1 seeds play the next day, and I think it's tomorrow. I'm looking it up as I'm talking here. So volleyball fans, check that out as well. NCAA tournament. ASU's got a really good team this year, and they've been dominating all season. And pay attention to that, of course, as we're going into this weekend. But ASU's definitely tonight against Utah State. There in Tempe as well. So got a packed weekend. A little bit back. Of course, you got the high school championship games for the 4, 5, 6A and the Open coming up this weekend as well. And good luck, man, right? Basha and I forgot who the other team is that Basha's playing. Chandler. Geesh, my brain went dead there. That's the Open Championship. Of course, the 6A Championship before Centennial, and I do forget the other team in that. But good high school football games this weekend. You have UFC 323. We went over that with Lou yesterday. Don't forget, you can catch up on the interview section there on the YouTube page. You can just see the actual Lou section or the coaches section or the Bruce Cooper section in that interview section there on the YouTube page. Or, of course, watch the whole show as well. McCollum on Business coming up live at 11 o'clock today as well. Of course, we will talk that Netflix, Warner Brothers Discovery merger coming up. It's a big deal for a lot of reasons out there. And not only that, Netflix overpaid for it. So your Netflix price is going to skyrocket here, folks. Brace yourself for that if they can get through regulations. We'll talk about that coming up at 11. All the shows that mine and Kobe and Riley's and Ethan's production company does is out there on our individual YouTube page separate here. And we have more stuff coming your way on that page. It's just right now the shows and interviews and things to that effect. So you're going to want to like and subscribe to that YouTube page as well. There, of course, you catch all of our shows live here at Robat TV, on demand as well, and then the free podcast system. Like and subscribe them for us. Have a great weekend out there. Enjoy your sports. Enjoy this weather as well. I learned yesterday I need a light jacket. Got a little chilly on me last night. Wish me luck. I got to deal with an HOA thing later on with the boss man for the company we deal with. I got to take my car to that collision place. Another one. Wish me luck here, folks. Breathe, Steve. Breathe. See you Monday, everybody. Have a great one.